Now, I originally was gonna do growing up hip hop, but I was like, I don't care that much because it's not that interesting right now. Maybe if something
Not
more
yet.
interesting
I
happens,
haven't
but it's,
watched.
you could check out Jamie. Jamie did like a little video about it, talking about what happened and really got to the point. I talked about it in a live this week. If y'all want to hear somebody talk about the shit, but outside of that, I didn't feel like it was Ooh Ladies First Panel material beach. Okay, so we gonna move on into Ready to Love. We finally coming to y'all. Okay, well, I'm finally coming to y'all with a review because I know we talked about it last week, which is the only reason we talked about it this week. Okay, because these people sometimes I just like, "Bitch, I'm bored. Like y'all ain't even giving me nothing. It's the same old, and it ain't nothing. You know,
Not
it's nothing
yet.
new. Not yet. So we got the new people. They added new people. We have over here, we have Jonique and we have Cynthia, and then we have Mark Anthony and we have Fabrice, who I like to call Uncle Festa. Okay. Um, basically, main things that I feel like were point out worthy or whatever was the fact that Uncle Fester is oversexed and talks about sex way too much in his conversations. I didn't like Mark Anthony's conversation with Corvea. Okay, y'all see Corvea over here. I didn't like their conversation because when they were talking and she was like, you know, so do you spoil your woman? And he was like, I give you what you earn. And she was like, well, that's scary. She was like, so you can't just pick up on the fact that I deserve spoiling. I have to prove something to you. And I feel like I love the fact that she pointed that out. They may not like Corvea, but honestly, I
Right.
feel like she pointed out off rip that Mark Anthony is full of shit because I feel like you can tell Corvea has her own shit. For you to say she was,
Yes.
yes. So for him to say, oh, it's giving gold digger vibes, I'm like, how can you call her a gold digger for wanting to be with someone who spoils her? I don't, why do
Well,
I have to work for you to treat me nicely? Nigga, that's what the relationship shit is for. You treat me nicely, I treat you nicely. I don't know what y'all think relationships are, but you're supposed to want to spoil the person. If you don't want to spoil them, you probably don't like them. And when we're talking about spoiling, what that means is if a person likes certain things, you do those things for them as much as you can within reason, of course. But I feel like him thinking she's a gold digger just because she wants to be spoiled by the person she's in a relationship with is a red flag.
I really like Corvea, but I feel like this might not be the show for her. I feel like she should be on like $1 Million Matchmaker or whatever they
A
call them.
million
That
dollar.
is that what it's called? Or
She needs to
Bachelor? Is
be
that it?
where white
I
people
was thinking like Married at First Sight.
Or yeah, or that one, yeah. But I don't know because they're gonna get her a terrible guy,
are.
and I just feel like none of these guys are on her level. And I really like the lack of a better term is standards that's coming to my mind, like how high her
Yeah.
standards are.
Me
But
too.
Uh-huh.
ultimately, I love how she challenges them right out the gate. And I feel like when you present yourself like that, you can automatically kind of see who's with the BS because all men love talking about how they want a certain type of woman that can help them and this, that, and the other and whatever. But when you get a woman that can help you rise to the occasion, you see her as though she's a threat. And then you try to label her as though she's problematic or this or that, or you know what I'm
A
saying? So
gold
it's like
digger.
they don't be making sense. So I really like her.
I love her energy.
Febreze was
Yeah.
irritating as hell.
Oh
And I'm still
Lord.
getting to know the two new ladies. Is the one in the red Cynthia?
Yes, I like Cynthia.
I like her so far. You know, I'm still kind of getting to know her, but it was the dude that kept wanting to talk to her with the dark skin one. I can't think of his
Yes,
name.
Andre. Oh my
I
God.
don't know about Andre. I
But
don't
the
know.
three
I
different
don't know.
hairstyles.
They we
Yeah,
I'm
I
glad
think
I
he be
created
wearing a
it.
little bun or knot or something on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Ugh.
don't know. I don't know if he
Him,
gonna
right?
be it for her.
Yeah,
Hmm.
him.
I don't
Yeah.
like him. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm glad you brought that up. They did something I didn't really like where they had all of the men meet with, you know, Cynthia by herself and then
You
brought
said
in
you
Jody.
didn't like that.
I didn't because I was just kind of like, I got the point of it, but I don't know, just something about it was like, why did she have to sit there and be like round table questioned by all six of these men? It just felt weird. But then
I liked it.
when I saw them do it with Fabrice, I was like, okay, I can see that. But like in real life, I feel like I probably would have felt a little uncomfortable if
Hmm.
everybody intends to date me and I'm sitting at a table with six dudes. Like
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
I'm also very you know, y'all know I be worrying about people. I am. I'm naturally somebody that just be like, you know, prove to me you're not creepy because you
Right.
disrespect freezes. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm like. I'm always in the mindset of prove to me that you're not creepy. But other than that, like you put me in a room with like 6 dudes and no other women at the table, it just kind of felt, she handled herself well. I love
that's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm like, oh, she handled them questions, baby. She was
did.
like,
that's what
she
I was
didn't
getting.
mind. I love that she wasn't intimidated by all of them, although they was trying to throw the questions out like an interrogation, as Miss Destiny would say. But I think she did a good job.
I liked it because she
Missy.
didn't get stuck
She
with
did,
one
but I want to point
person.
out
Usually, whenever they set you up with somebody so early on, they end up getting stuck too early. So once she was able to talk to everybody at once, I was like, okay, cool. She coming in like even playing field.
Because they overdid that with Cornelius and Camille. I was like, so he ain't gonna go on no other dates. So y'all gonna see him on the date with one other person. Oh, okay. So
What
yeah,
y'all think
I like
about
the
her
setup.
submissive comment?
Listen, I'm glad you brought that up.
Okay, you gonna talk about it?
Yes,
okay.
The whole back and forth with Andre was weird for me because she was like, I can be submissive. She was like, I loved her, but it also gives you think you sound smart, but essentially, like the more we have this conversation, the more I find it problematic. But she was asked if she can be submissive. She's like, yes, I can be submissive, but I'm not gonna let anybody play with me. I'm a Black woman. I'm a single mother. I have to, make sure nobody is coming to my space fucking with me. But if I have a man that I can trust, then yes, I will be submissive because I don't want to wear, your pants. I know what it is, but I just kind of feel like that whole conversation is just stupid at this point to me.
Thank you.
All it sounds like is, are you going to acquiesce to me when I push you hard enough? Are you going to bitch up? Like, let me know now. Can I control you? That's what the submissive thing sounds like to me at this point, especially when men talk about themselves as being alpha males, because that really annoys me because you think that sounds good, but essentially you're comparing yourself to a fucking animal. And we would like for y'all to act like responsible adults before we get into this. Can you be an alpha? Can you be with an alpha male? Can you submit? Why are you asking me if I can give up my power to you on the first fucking date? What is that about?
What is that? And I wish they would have left the alpha male in 2022. Don't bring it here. And here's the gag. It's so funny that they stand up here asking her those questions and about submissiveness and all this and that, but yet y'all bitch up when y'all having a conversation with Corvelia. When Corvelia call y'all to the front or whatever the case is and put her standards on the table, then y'all want to like cringe up and be like, oh, well, she kind of act like this and she's that and that. Y'all can't even handle that. But you sit up here talking about how much of an alpha male you are and you're going to ask this lady if she going to be submissive. Like, shut up. Retire it, please. Please let it go.
Okay.
I wish she would have just told him no.
Go ahead.
I feel like anytime somebody asks, I wish she just would have told him no, just because it was a stupid ass question. And I feel like if somebody asked that question, it's like danger, red flag. Just tell his ass no.
Response. And we didn't hear Jonique's response.
Yeah, we did.
I wanted to hear her response because she was giving like, But there was one other thing I wanted to talk about with Andre that really bothered me, y'all. When he asked Cynthia if she likes light skin or dark skin. Light eyes or dark eyes. Like, nigga, I don't know if you know, but y'all are the only ones that think like that. Black women, especially Black women that present themselves the way Cynthia does. Nobody gives a fuck about your skin tone, sir. Like, nobody cares about your skin tone, sir. Only when it shows up in a negative way related to your personality. So obviously, Andre is somebody that's been told he's dark and ugly because he's been asked. No, he asked, "Can you be with an ugly man?" Is because he feels he's ugly. And then you ask, "Could you be light eyes, dark eyes, light skin, dark skin?" It's because you feel like you're an ugly, dark skinned man, and you want to know if these women are going to be attracted to an ugly, dark skinned man. You're the only one that feels that
light
way.
skin, blue eyes.
And he's trying to check that, see who all he got to compete with.
Exactly.
Or whether he should not compete at all because he already knows
he's
not your
type. I'm not even gonna try with you because you don't want nobody that look like me. But I feel like the only reason you feel like that is because as a man, you feel like that about women. I think a lot of these men come on these shows once they've exasperated all of their preferences. And now they want to try to find them the smart Black woman that's gonna Michelle Obama their life. And they come on shows like this looking for that. And so, I think he was coming from the standpoint of the way men think about women. Y'all really do feel like, oh, I don't want a dark-skinned woman. I want a light-skinned woman because that's more feminine. Y'all really do say and believe stupid shit like that. Women, we may have our preferences, but if you show us something that we like, those preferences go out the door. You know what I'm saying? Because it's only a fucking preference, you know, not a mandatory thing.
Right.
All as roommates, but still society has taught them that women can be gold diggers for what? Like, oh boy, from Love After Lockup, that's my $5,000 bed. What? It don't even look like she paid that much for rent. Quit playing. What's wrong with y'all? Like, I don't know why men are taught that women are going after these imaginary pockets that are empty.
Yikes.
I mean, no shade to him specifically, but this show, I feel like be highlighting so much about like just men in general, women too. Because I feel like when you get into that age range, that's why the show be so tiring. You get to the points where you get to these toxic ass alpha male men, and then you get to the women that are like, "Oh, I'm 37. I'll submit. Give me somebody." That's why I like Corvée so much, because she's able to call out the bullshit. Because you see women come on the show, they say exactly what they want, and then it's, you know, the numbers start to dwindle down. They like, he don't want kids, I'll do this. He want this, I'll do that. I'm assertive, I'll be submissive. Don't do that. I don't like that.
They're bullying Corvée for being honest and upfront because she was in the bottom. And I thought that was very peculiar, considering the fact that a lot of the men, when they're around her, seem to like her. You know, she had an interaction with Blake and Lyndon, but I feel like she steps on y'all insecurities. You feel a way about the fact that you have a roommate. So her saying that she don't want a man with a roommate made you feel a way. The other dude, you want Blake, you want people to be with you regardless of the fact that they want kids. You want a woman to acquiesce what she wants just to be with you if you want to be with her. And she's letting you know she's not going to do that. So now she's in the bottom. And Z goes home, but I feel like Z should have went home because Z needs to meet somebody organically, and she needs to go to therapy, because the way she talked about, oh, you want to date me, then I'll date you. Like, no, you need to go. And then also I feel like when Blake and her went on that date, he was talking to her, asking her questions, and she really did. It seemed like she didn't know who she was. He kept asking. Like, she didn't know who she was. And I feel like that's probably because she's always been about making men feel good. So you don't know who you are because you probably haven't taken any time.
Right, whoever they want her to be.
Yeah, you're going to do whatever. You want to come off soft and giggly and all of that type of shit, you know? So I feel like she don't know who she is. But also I felt like, did we learn anything about Blake? Or did he just show up there to ask her questions? Because we didn't learn anything further about him either.
Yeah, that's true.
He acknowledged that though. When they was at the men's lounge, he said maybe I did conduct our conversation like an interview though.
He did, yeah.
So I guess he knew what he was doing, because he said, "Who are you? Tell me who you are."
I didn't like that. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Who are you? One other moment I want to point out before we move on. Tony and Marcia went on a date. First of all, him looking like Willie from Day 26 is hilarious to me. Hilarious. Brother. And Marcia gives black girl cha-cha-cha. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Jackie Harry vibes or whatever. You know, Sandra. I'm sorry. Anyway, they went on a date, and it was something, and I know y'all gonna be mad at me about this, but it's something I noticed with men whenever they want to pull Jesus out of their pockets and they want to pray with you, and it just feels like a manipulation to make you think they're deeper than they really are, because them believing in Jesus doesn't mean that they're not going to cheat on you or disrespect you. Like, them believing in Jesus doesn't save you from them being a bad guy in relationship. Right. So when they throw out that they, you know, want to pray and all of this, and you eat that shit up like, oh, I need me a man of God. And it's just like, yeah, because the men of God, what do they do exactly? Talk to me. Because a lot of the men of God I know cheat. Okay. A lot of the men of God I know lie. They like to steal from people. You know what I'm saying? Because if we look at any of these preachers online, they like attention. They like to run their mouth. They like to get attention from the women's in the church. So it's like there aren't really that good examples of men who use church as a way to get women. It's always seen to me as something that's manipulative. So when they had that moment, I was like, am I the only one that peaked, like, oh, it feels so good to pray together. It's just like, right, because that means he's not going to cheat on you because y'all pray together.
I think she just did the most. He was talking about how I do agree with what you're saying. Just because he claimed he saved, don't mean he ain't gonna do what he want to do. But he kept that same energy in that last episode, or either the first one with Morgan, I think it was, who he met. I think she was too easily like amused by the fact that he was praying. Like, oh my gosh, I'm just so consumed by him. I'm like, girl, just calm down. That don't mean like he is the one just because he did this. Lord, thank you for this food. So
yes.
I'm gonna keep my eye on him. For her, she did too much.
It's given. I'm at that age where I need to be overly excited by niggas doing the bare minimum.
Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. I clicked off by accident. Yeah, I ain't really think too much of that situation because I'm like, y'all acting like y'all really, really like each other, and come next week, y'all gonna be on to some whole new people because that's how it always go. Mm-hmm. And I'm chuckling at the whole prayer because I was looking at it sideways. She was like, okay. I was like, girl, don't be hyped about that. Like, it's just a prayer. I feel like he fake as hell right now, but you can't see through, like, you can't see, like, it's crazy because some people give a very calm aura, and then some people walk into the room and you just automatically know they full of He kind of gives me that. I think he's automatically full of
Yeah.
We'll see how it's gonna play out. Like,
the suits are too tight, the hair is too colored.
Ron.
Say that. Maybe it's the vest.
He made me think of, maybe that's what it, because I'm thinking about Ron. I can't remember what episode.
Oh, Ron with the Alexis slide. That was like 3 seasons ago at this point, I think.
He makes me think of Ron. They always get the same type of people. Because the girl that just got eliminated made me think of, dang, I forgot the lady on the last show, AZ or
AZ.
The one who had no, not the teacher.
The real quiet one. She used to be into like the crystals and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
She was the season before. The Ace?
Yeah.
Ace. That's her, Ace.
Yeah.
She made me think of Ace. The one that ended up leaving. They get the same folks every time.
They do.
This girl makes you think of Ace.
The one they eliminated.
Oh, okay. Z.
Ace and Z. That's interesting.
Oh, that is, right?